Hello, magic casters of all shapes and sizes. My name is Chance. Welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into the 34th episode of our first level spell series. Today we're going to be taking a look at one of the most popular and beneficial spells in the player's handbook. Today we're going to be taking a look at Faerie Fire. This beautiful spell is usable by the Bard, Druid, Artificer, and it is found in the Player's Handbook. This is perfect for those characters who like to help out their allies and who genuinely just want to have a, shall we say, colorful effect on the battlefield. It is honestly incredibly cool. With all that hype out of the way, let's take a look at the mechanics here and just break down a little bit how this works. Your cast time is the standard one action. The range is 60 feet and it forms a 20-foot cube. The duration is 1 minute, and this is a concentration spell, meaning should you take damage while focusing on this spell, you need to make a constitution check, and should you fail, the spell ends. Also, you can only concentrate on one spell at a time, so you cannot stack this with another concentration spell. The effect at a glance is as followed. Within a 20-foot cube, each object glows in a color of your choice. Creatures in the area make a dex save or are affected by the same glow and shed dim light for 10 feet. Attacks made against affected creature or object have advantage. Invisibility has no benefit. Super cool! The components are just verbal, meaning you just have to speak forth an incantation and that's it. And the school's Evocation, which is kind of surprising and weird. I get why, but still. Let's take a look at the full description here so we know exactly what we're talking about. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or a violet light, and that is your choice. Any creature in the area when the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw for the duration. Objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and the affected creature or object can't benefit from being invisible. Very, very, very cool stuff there. My goodness. So it might be worth noting that overall, this can be quite an overwhelming spell. So I would kind of pick and choose what defines an object with your DM in advance. Otherwise, you're just going to see a bunch of light. Perfect there. Let's take a look at some alternative uses. Now, before we get into how kind of use it, I would like to bring up just real quick here that there is a little bit of controversy as to how this spell is used. So the only way I've played with it, and the way I interpret it, is kind of like magic paintball paint, right? So within a 20-foot cube, everyone gets doused with that magic paintball paint, and even when they leave, it's still on them. However, I've heard it argued in the past and online here that there are a couple DMs who interpret this as being only while they're within that 20-foot cube are they affected by it. I've never played with it like that. I've never been in a game where it's ran like that. But there are some DMs who feel that way, so it might be worth noting running it past yours just before, you pick this and then you end up wasting a spell, or it doesn't work the way you want it to, or what have you. At the very least, I would make the argument that if it is when they only are in that 20-foot range, I would compromise by making it where if another creature walks into that 20-foot cube, they are also affected. You know what I mean? So, in any case, let's take a look at some actual alternative uses here. So the most obvious one is to help deal with invisible creatures, things like specters or anyone who can cast the invisibility spell. Really good stuff there. You could also potentially use it to track down a particularly quick enemy, or at the very least make it easier to. I could imagine a campaign where druid were to turn into an animal and then flee, you could use this to follow the animal a little bit better. You could also use it to find hidden objects such as keys, or at the very other end of the spectrum, you could actually cast this on your own party members and take advantage of that dim light benefit. This would be really useful if you want to help them attract aggro, or if it is just a dark setting and you at least want to have a little bit of light. Alright, that's about all I can think of off the top of my head. If you have any alternative uses of your own, or crazy ways to use this spell, or builds, or cool stories, or anything regarding it, I'd really like to hear it down in the comments beneath. Honestly, it's a super solid choice regardless of which class you're playing. This would also be a really good one to pick for Magic Initiate as well. That being said, I hope you all have a great day, and as always, happy casting.